The Saanich Police Department is on a relentless quest to find a seemingly ordinary dress, a garment that could hold the key to unlocking a perplexing murder mystery. This dress, a basic design adorned with white, pink, and black patterns, was last seen on a middle-aged woman. She, along with a tall, dark-haired man, entered 1702 D. Souza Place for a house showing with 24-year-old junior real estate agent, Lindsay Buziak. Just 20 minutes later, a horrifying discovery was made. Lindsay was found lifeless in the master bedroom. The house, now a grim crime scene, offered no immediate answers, no fingerprints, no DNA, no discernible clues. Not even a stray fiber or a single strand of hair was left behind. Some whispered of strangers, while others suspected those closest to Lindsay. But for the detectives, the most promising lead in tracking their prime suspect lay in finding that elusive dress. Born on November 2, 1983, in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, Lindsay Buziak was known for her kind, warm, and charming demeanor. Following in her father Jeff's footsteps, she embarked on a career in real estate, a profession perfectly suited to her outgoing and bright personality. She made clients feel safe and welcomed, earning widespread praise. Lindsay was also in a relationship with Jason Zailo, another successful real estate agent whose family owned an established real estate business. At just 24, Lindsay was at the cusp of a thriving career, with a steady stream of showings and promising new clients. However, one particular phone call would irrevocably alter her path, leading her to what would be her final showing. It was late January 2008 when Lindsay received an unusual call on her personal phone, not her work phone, which was typically reserved for clients. The caller, a woman, had a peculiar accent, neither distinctly Spanish nor Canadian, prompting Lindsay to nickname her clients the Mexicans. The client was urgent, needing a move-in-ready house within 2 days for a budget of $1 million. Lindsay was ecstatic at the prospect of such a substantial commission, especially as a junior agent. Yet, a nagging feeling persisted. This deal felt too good to be true. The strange accent, the generous budget, the rushed timeline, and the use of her personal number all stirred a sense of unease. Though the clients claimed to have been referred by a previous client, explaining how they got her personal number, Lindsay remained wary. She voiced her concerns to both her boyfriend Jason and her father Jeff. While Jeff left the decision to her, Jason encouraged her to take the showing, even promising to wait outside in his car for reassurance. Feeling relieved, Lindsay selected a few houses, settling on one in Saanich for a showing on February 2, 2008, at 5:30 p.m. On the day of the showing, a Saturday, Lindsay and Jason had lunch before Lindsay headed home at 4:30 p.m. to get ready. Jason, meanwhile, went to an auto repair shop with a friend. They decided to drive to the house separately. Jason, running late, texted Lindsay to apologize and say he was on his way. At 5:38 p.m., Lindsay sent her last text to Jason. "Okay. I gotta go. The Mexicans are here." Jason arrived at the house around 5:45 p.m. with his friend. He saw a tall, dark-haired man with his back to him standing by the wide-open front door. Feeling like a nosy, interfering boyfriend, Jason drove around for about 10 minutes, eventually parking on Torquay Drive, where he could still see the house. He texted Lindsay that everything looked normal, but like his previous message, it went unread and unanswered. He observed the man and a woman in the distinctive white, pink, and black dress re-enter the house. After another 20 minutes, growing increasingly concerned, Jason returned to the now locked front door. Through the stained glass, he saw Lindsay's high-heeled shoes, casually discarded in the hallway. This immediately put him on edge. He called 911 while his friend went around to the back of the house. Jason's friend soon reported a large gap in the back fence and an open back patio door. Jason informed the operator he was entering the house and hung up. His friend unlocked the front door from inside. Upon entering the silent home, Jason walked down the hallway, up the stairs, and stopped abruptly in the master bedroom. There, he found Lindsay, lifeless, with countless injuries to her body. He immediately called 911 again, requesting emergency services and the police. Paramedics and detectives arrived quickly, but Lindsay, tragically, could not be saved. She was pronounced dead at the scene, having suffered over 40 slash wounds. Further examination revealed a chilling detail. Lindsay had no defensive wounds, suggesting she was attacked from behind and had no warning. Her premonition about her clients had been horrifyingly accurate. The brutal nature of the attack, marked by such a high number of stab wounds, led police to a grim conclusion. This was a crime of passion, fueled by rage, and it was personal. The perpetrator seemingly wanted to ensure Lindsay could not leave the house alive. The news of a real estate agent murdered on the quiet, affluent de Souza place spread like wildfire through Victoria, shaking the community and particularly real estate agents. Lindsay's family was devastated. Her father, Jeff, was distraught and vowed to seek justice for his daughter. Detectives began by examining Lindsay's phone. Two things immediately stood out. The client had called Lindsay's personal number, reinforcing the belief that the client knew Lindsay. The second, more unsettling discovery was a pocket-dialed call from Lindsay's BlackBerry to a random number in her contacts at 5:41 p.m. Police theorized this was the exact moment Lindsay was attacked. The house's lockbox timestamp confirmed Lindsay entered the house with the clients at 5:29 p.m. The investigation then turned to the phone used to make the initial call to Lindsay. It was a burner phone, purchased under a fake name in Vancouver months before the attack, confirming premeditation. The phone was used only once to call Lindsay and was deactivated after the murder. Cell phone pings showed the phone had traveled from Vancouver to Saanich on a ferry, suggesting it was bought specifically for the murder and then discarded. The name the client gave Lindsay was also fake. A peculiar detail emerged when investigators looked into the house itself. De Souza Place was a cul-de-sac of 4 houses, and the fateful property was on the outer edge. It was named after Joe de Souza, a friend and business acquaintance of Shirley Zailo, Jason's mother. The fact that Jason had urged Lindsay to show this particular property, despite her apprehension, immediately shifted the investigation's focus to Jason and the Zailo family. Despite Jason's version of events being corroborated by witnesses, certain aspects continued to trouble the police. Why was Jason late when he knew Lindsay was uncomfortable? Why didn't he drive her directly to the showing after their lunch? Most puzzlingly, why did he make a beeline for the master bedroom immediately upon entering the house? In most cases, individuals would search the entire property before finding a victim. Jason cooperated with the police, even passing a polygraph test, but he refused to provide a DNA sample. The lack of a murder weapon further stalled the investigation. However, a new lead emerged from Lindsay's father, Jeff. He told detectives that Lindsay had been considering breaking up with Jason, describing him as jealous, possessive, and overbearing. Even more disturbingly, following a visit to Jeff in Calgary in December 2007, Lindsay confided that she had seen something she shouldn't have. Whatever it was, 2 months later, Lindsay was dead. To this day, the identity of the mysterious caller and the orchestrators of Lindsay's murder remain unknown, but several theories have been put forth by law enforcement, online communities, and the public. One theory suggests a targeted hit. The professional execution of the crime, with no forensic evidence left behind, points to a hired assassin. However, the sheer brutality of the attack over 40 stab wounds seems uncharacteristic of a typical hitman, suggesting a personal vendetta rather than a detached professional killing. A wilder theory involves illegal substances and trafficking rings. It was revealed that shortly after Lindsay's Calgary trip in December 2007, a large-scale drug bust occurred in January 2008, leading to the arrest of major figures like Erickson Lopez de L'Alcazar. Phone records showed Lindsay contacted a friend of her ex-boyfriend, who was a relative of Erickson. This led to speculation that Lindsay was a police informant, and her murder was a cartel revenge plot. However, lead investigators dismissed this, finding no evidence of Lindsay's involvement in drug rings and reiterating the personal nature of the attack. The most intriguing theory circles back to Lindsay's boyfriend, Jason, and his mother, Shirley. Jeff has consistently voiced his reservations about Jason's behavior at the scene, his late arrival, his decision to move his car, and his direct path to the master bedroom. Then there's the mysterious fake Spanish accent. Months after Lindsay's murder, her friend Nikki received a late-night call from an unknown number. The woman on the other end spoke with a very similar fake Spanish accent. The call disconnected, but after Nikki tried calling the number back 30 times, it was finally answered by Shirley Zailo, Jason's mother. Nikki was baffled. Shirley casually explained she was trying to reach her personal assistant, also named Nikki, claiming the lines got mixed up, and presumed Jason had given her Nikki's number. Later, Shirley flat out denied the call ever happened. This unsettling incident raises a profound question. Was someone closest to Lindsay responsible for her tragic death? While there's no conclusive evidence, the unsettling nature of these events casts a long shadow. The most tragic aspect of this case is that after all these years, no one has been charged with Lindsay's murder. Without concrete evidence, the police remain unable to charge the man or the woman who are likely behind the attack. The search for the woman's distinct dress eventually proved fruitless and was called off. Lindsay's father, Jeff, has never given up hope. He created a website dedicated to Lindsay's murder, including an online forum for updates and theories. In August 2017, nearly 9 years after Lindsay's attack, a chilling comment appeared on the forum. "I killed Lindsay, and stupid cops will never prove it." Whether this was a cruel hoax or a message from the killer remains unknown, but it was a disturbing development nonetheless. More recently, in 2021, the Saanich Police Department, in collaboration with the FBI, announced they have new leads in Lindsay's case, thanks to advancements in DNA analysis and other technologies. The details are currently under wraps. It's speculated that tiny amounts of DNA, perhaps previously overlooked, can now be analyzed through genetic genealogy, a method that has solved numerous cold cases. While genetic genealogy can be a lengthy process, all hope is not lost. The public eagerly awaits the investigators' next steps. Jeff and Lindsay's loved ones have endured immense suffering over the past decade and a half. It's high time they receive answers for Lindsay's haunting murder. What do you think is the most promising lead in solving Lindsay's case? Thank you for tuning into another episode of True Crime Diaries. If you also want to become a member of the channel, you can click that big join button below the video. Don't forget to subscribe. It is totally free.